Hello and welcome to the Legendary Debates. New debate. This is debate number 27 in the line of debates we are performing since a good time. And this debate topic is really interesting. It's about active euthanasia. And this is a very academic topic and must be discussed because it has been discussed lots of times in our courts and in our parliaments. So it's necessary to take your views and opinions regarding this. So today's topic is active euthanasia. I need to explain it uh, to the people in this house who will speak or who are just audience here or anywhere where this video goes. So active euthanasia. Actually, the concept of euthanasia has been a controversial topic since its inception. Uh, NCBI says that active euthanasia refers to the physician deliberate act, usually the administration of lethal drugs, to end or incurably or terminally ill patient's life. Uh, so it is related to, we can say, voluntary death. And now they say that in relation to giving consent for euthanasia, active euthanasia is uh, three types. It's voluntary euthanasia, non-voluntary euthanasia, and involuntary uh, euthanasia, which our members and the speakers today will talk in details about. I'll tell you the present condition. Present condition is such that it's illegal in India, but it's practiced in a good part of the world. This active euthanasia, voluntary euthanasia is illegal in almost all the countries, but yes, active involuntary euthanasia is legal in countries such as Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. Assisted suicide, there is a concept of assisted suicide that is also voluntary death, that is also legal in so many countries like Switzerland. We say Switzerland is known as death tourism, where every year patients from British, Germany, France travel there to end their lives. And in Netherlands, we see 2% of the total deaths in Netherlands are by voluntary euthanasia. So this is a topic of great importance because, as I said, it has been discussed in Parliament and in courts lots of time. So let's go. Let's not make any delay. Let's start this debate. The topic is that this house believes that active euthanasia, that is the mercy killing or assisted suicide, should be made legal in India, as in so many other countries. So there will be people who today will defend this motion, who will give strong arguments to defend this motion, and there will be people today who will oppose it. So before we start and begin, I would like you to tell your sides. What side will you be speaking for? So I'll go one by one to everyone. If you are just a viewer, you can tell that also. Aditya, hi Aditya. What side will you be speaking today?
Hi, Shivans. I will be supporting the motion that euthanasia should be made legalized in India.
Okay, great. So you will be supporting the motion. Himanshu, would you speak today?
I will suggest the motion.
Sorry, your
Hello,
voice is breaking. I can't.
I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible, but your voice is breaking. You can write in chat box. We'll read it. So then you can fix your network. Uh, Hi Pratiksha, would you speak today?
No, I'll be an audience.
Okay, okay. Uh, Prerna, would you speak? What side? Okay, there is a problem with audio. Rajdidi Prathod, would you are you an audience here or would you speak?
I will support the motion.
Okay, you'll support the motion. That's great. We have two people. I think more than two people who are supporting the motion. Ram Kumar, would you speak today? Hi Saurabh, would you speak today? And if you do, what side would you take? Uh, Somebody tell me, am I audible? Shruti, Suhani, can you
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
me?
yeah. Yes,
Yes, you
Shivans.
are audible.
Yes, guys,
Okay, okay,
you are audible.
okay. So Shruti, would you speak today?
No, I am just listener today.
Okay, you'll listen it. That's allowed. Suhani,
Yes, I'm in the for of the motion.
Okay, you will favor the motion. Swapnil, what is your stand?
Yeah, in the favor of motion.
Okay, Needham, what side?
Yeah, I will support this
He will
motion.
support the motion. So we see almost all the people of the house are supporting this motion. There is no one who will put his or her points against the motion. Kriti Sudha, what is your point today?
I
I
am
am
supporting the
supporting the
motion.
motion.
You will support the motion. Okay. I think Prerna wants to speak something, but her network or audio has some issues. Prerna, you can type in the chat box.
Hello, Shivansh. Am I
Okay, Prerna has typed already. Uh, Himanshu and Prerna are
Shivansh?
against the motion. Yes, Himanshu, actually,
Shivansh, am I audible?
yeah, now it's better.
Okay.
Okay, great, great. So we have two people against the motion. That's good. Till then, Prerna, please fix your audio issues. But let's start the debate with full energy and full enthusiasm. Let's welcome someone who would speak for the motion. We need some arguments to support the motion of this house, this club. Anyone who would like to take this opportunity of starting the debate, who would be the first speaker today? Anyone? Take the opportunity. It's
May I?
yeah, yeah, sure. You have 3 minutes, and in 3 minutes, put your strong arguments. All the best.
Okay. So I'm in the for the motion that definitely it should be legalized. Why it should be legalized? There are following reasons. I believe that these are the enough reasons it to be legalized. That one is that ethical reason. I believe that prolonging suffering of any living creature is unethical, and if they themselves wish to escape misery, and the law should definitely assist them. And the second is that the practical reason that this may sound indelicate to many, but in a country like India where people doctors can do nothing about if there is any disease and do not get the treatment of facilities, whereas terminal cases occupy beds and medical attention suspended in a just breathing stage for years, then doctors can give them give them that drugs which is would be easy to die to them because there is no way to live their life. So I think it is a practical reason, and also there is a historical precedence too that India is one of the few countries where Iksha Mrityu was not a sin but a boon. You know, most of Hindu and Jain revered figures such as Krishna, Balram, Ram, Sita, Pandavas, Dadichi, Bhishma choose to give up their lives despite not being terminally ill. Methodologically, Bhishma received the gift to choose then when his life ends, so it was considered a blessing rather than a sin to die voluntarily. So even till date many Jain sages adopt practice Sallekna when they feel that their purpose of life is complete. So I think there is a historical presence too that it is not illegal. Also there is a financial reason that financial and emotional toll on the family of a comatose person can be unbearable. I personally know a case where a young guy became comatose after a severe accident, and his family sold all their liquid and non-liquid assets, including the only patch of cultivable land. And the poor guy died after a year, leaving his family in penury. And plans for marriage and education of his siblings were cancelled due to lack of money. And if the medical community were sensitive towards euthanasia and gave an honest medical opinion about chances of his survival, the family would have been able to make an informed decision. And rationality demands that we cut the organ that is spreading the gangrene to the whole body. So at last, I believe that if there is any person who willingly want to give their life, so if there is a right to live life here, then there should be a right to death too. So I believe if there is anyone who want to give his life because he is in pain and he severely need this help, then government should definitely legalize it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Swani. You were the first speaker, and well said. If anyone is given the right to live life, he or she should also be given the right to terminate his or her life anytime he or she wants. Great. So let's see who the next speaker is. Next speaker has to be against the motion and against Suhani. So we had two speakers who were against the motion, either Himanshu or Prerna. Okay, Himanshu, do you want to speak? Still, you have the same network issues. No, no, Himanshu, you're not clearly audible. You'll have to fix your network. Yes, uh, Himanshu, I can't hear you. You're not audible. No, your voice is breaking. Prerna, are you available? Okay, this is a coincidence or what? That two people who are against the motion in this house, uh, only they have the audio problems today. Neha, you are asking to start. What side will you take? Because we are seeking for someone who will speak against the motion.
I am against the motion.
Okay, okay, great. Start. You have 3 minutes. All the best.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. This is Neha Soni, and I want to put my thoughts by using a quote which was said by Swami Vivekanand. He expects that one to understand that life is the lamp that is constantly burning out, and further suggests that if one wants to have life, one has to die every moment for it. So when we're talking about euthanasia, it's absolutely is an extremely contentious issue because it's a decision fraught with emotion. However, passive euthanasia is legal in India. On 7 March 2011, the Supreme Court of India legalized passive euthanasia by means of withdrawal of life support to patient in a permanent vegetative state or terminally ill patient. The decision was made as part of the verdict in case involving Aruna Shanbag, who had been in a vegetative state for 42 years until her death in 2015. So, however, there is another form of euthanasia, which is active euthanasia, which means the use of lethal substances or forces to kill a person, like a lethal injection. So, active euthanasia is also illegal in India. So now I want to put my points that why active euthanasia should not be legalized, especially in present scenario. So first of all, active euthanasia should not be allowed in India until and unless our healthcare system should not be improved, because by then so many malpractices should be appeared in society in the form of in the sense we can say like black marketing of lethal injections. Then second is that it is too difficult to implement, especially in India, like countries where people believe that life and death is in the hand of God. Even recently, according to DNA analysis, I found that so many people not want to take the resort of passive euthanasia. So how do you think that active euthanasia is they accept, which is also against the ethics? Then we know that 62.5% of India's population is youth, and as per the result of a large scale survey conducted across India in 2019, young adults between the age of 20 and 29 years of both gender were the most depressed in the country and want to take their life. So don't you think that it's a very easy for them to take their life and it impact on our society in a bad manner, we can say like that. Then second, and we can say like it's also a ethical dilemma of doctor who is known for life saving. Unfortunately, if active euthanasia is legalized in India, so people know people using a doctor, people take a doctor as a life taking. So overall, passive euthanasia, especially in present scenario, better than active euthanasia. And if in future active euthanasia cover up the India, So Supreme Court and so many laws and restrictions should be properly making, and most importantly proper implementing, and along with also so many questions raises, what is the guarantee that youth does not take it otherwise? Second is then doesn't take it, is then the punishment should be removed from committing suicide under the IPC section 306. And the most important, where do we draw line between murder and letting or inducing him or her die? Thank you.
Thank you, Neha. Spoke really well, excellently spoken by you. And I'm feeling good that both the first speakers, first of all, Suhani spoke in favor of the motion, and then Neha spoke against the motion. It's very good that both are girls and they are starting. So I wish that same type of representation we also see someday in Parliament as well. Uh, Anyways, let's move ahead. We heard good points from Neha, including the black marketing thing. Okay, we have a tussle between Aditya and Swapnil. Who will start first? Uh,
May I?
okay, so you both have to develop a consent. Aditya Singh and Swapnil Tiwari. Okay, ठीक है. Swapnil, you start, and then I will again go to a person between Himanshu and Prerna. If you are audible, otherwise we'll go for favor in favor continuously. No problem. Yes, Swapnil, you can start.
Thank you, Shivans. I'm in favor of motion. So first of all, I would like to start my starting with Article 12, Article 21. As we know that Article 21 is a fundamental right of our Constitution, and which provides us to right to life. Means if we haven't the right to a dignified death, means we are violating that particular fundamental right. So if active euthanasia is not legal in India, means we are just destroying the views of the people. We destroying the whatever the ills of the people. So it must be legalized in India. If we study, there are the much more cases happen in India. Hearings happens in Supreme Court and the high courts, like the Tarkeswar Sinha, Patna, Bihar in 2005, and the Kerala High Court versus B.K. Pallavi in December 2001, and Muhammad Yanas Ansari versus Odisha government 2005. When we study very minutely these cases, then we will understand what is the importance of legal euthanasia in our country. And these are the scenario of the present time. And if we study the history of the and
Is Swapnil audible to everyone? Yes, Swapnil, you are not audible. No, you're not audible. Please check your network once. Rashmi, please stop the timer. You're still not audible, Swapnil. Okay, I hope soon Swapnil will reconnect to us.
yes, I'm audible.
Yeah, Swapnil, yes, you are audible now. Okay. Rashmi, put the timer for 1 minute.
So I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
So I was talking about the past scenarios. Means when we study the ideology of Swami Vivekananda, Pandit Ramchar Acharya, and Vinod Bhave, we understand that on that time the active euthanasia was the betterment for the life of the peoples. And just not talking about the India, let's talk about the some foreign countries. Uh, like the Netherlands, Belgium, and the Organ State of the America, and the South State of Australia. these are the countries where particular state just legalize this law. So why our constitution makes such type of article like article 309 and article 304, which just violating the active euthanasia. For the example, just take a practical example. If a particular people is suffering from insustainable diseases, so for that people's active euthanasia will be the better option. So if we are not, our country, our parliament, our government is not legalize it, so it is means we are violating article 21. We are just not giving justice and justice to the people's views. So thank you from my side.
Okay, thank you, Swapnil. You presented really well and you talked about the constitutional side of it. Uh, Earlier, Neha talked about some, I would say, historical side of it. We from all the speakers, we are seeing new aspects coming up. So next, we have after this, if Prerna or Himanshu, any one of you are ready. No, Prerna, you are still not audible. What about you, Himanshu?
So, yes, now am I audible?
Mm,
Um,
no, Himanshu, it's still your voice is breaking. I hope from next debate you'll do something. You will take some uh, Wi-Fi or something. Okay, till
o-
then, let's
okay,
go.
Shivan, translate my today.
Yes, this is sad that you can't express. We know that everywhere network is not that great. So you can put your opinions definitely in the chat box, and I will definitely read it for you. Uh, then let's call Aditya to speak.
Okay.
Am I audible clearly?
Yes, yes, you're audible. So you have 3 minutes.
So
All
like
the
fine.
best.
So as the previous speaker was Swapnil, and just before him, there was someone who was opposing this motion. What I will say that she was talking about IPC, but again I will criticize IPC. Why to go in IPC? Because it was passed in 1861 and it is totally unrelatable to the administrative law, or we can say the law of the country. So there should be no point of regarding that this is the provision in IPC and all that. Now coming to euthanasia, yes, this is the point. It's not just a right to die, but also it's a right to life for the organ needy patients. Just think about someone who is not living his or her life with that dignity, with in in the need of an organ, say for example liver or something like that. And yes, if someone is suffering from cancer, and that cancer is in his or her mind or skull or something else, that we can say brain tumor and something like that, there are lots of cases which can't be cured right now. There is no medicines at all, and it has been medically proven that there is no medicine. So what to be done in that case? That liver can be a organ which will be giving life to someone, and again the person who is suffering from that, he or she can have her death in a very dignityful manner, we can see. And again, it is proven that euthanasia provides a way to relieve the individual from the mammoth of sufferings, as though they are alive on a burning pyre of intolerable pain. It gives right to the beings to evaluate that what is the essence of their life. And again, as I have said, they can end their life in a dignified manner. It was very rightly said by Swapnil that Supreme Court was thinking about something, and again, it's not what should I say? It's not that much good, but again, the time will come when the right to life will be considered as right. Sorry, right to die will be considered as right to life. Till now, it hasn't been considered. There was a case which is Gyan Kaur case, which was of 1996. At their Supreme Court held that right to life doesn't have that right to die. It means that in Article 21, right to die is not considered or is not covered at all. So there are a lot of other points as well, like it's care, giver's burden, that someone is facing a lot of pain and all. So these kind of things are there. Again, I will have one more point that see, there are a lot of countries, and one can take the example of various countries where it has been legalized, and like Belgium, Netherlands, and various countries. And again, there is no problem at all. There have been no cases at all, and lots of people are working, lots of organizations are working. So the results are very fine, and India can also go through it. This is my point. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Aditya. You spoke well. You literally pointed out some practical aspects of it. As as I said, from every speaker, we are hearing something new every time. So thank you. You still till now, Suhani, Neha, Swapnil, and Aditya have spoken. So now let's see who is next. I think all the speakers are remaining are in favor of the motion. Who will take? Who would like to take the chance?
May I proceed?
Sure, Kriti Sudha. You have 3 minutes. All the best.
Euthanasia is defined as is a practice of intentionally ending life to relieve pain or suffering of a patient. There are two types of euthanasias we are talking about, active and passive. The thing there was a speaker who was just pointing out the active euthanasia over here. The active euthanasia I would define first, and it means that overdosing a patient or killing someone by the medical help. By the fact, I'm going to say what is passive euthanasia over here. Passive euthanasia is something when the patient is helpless and cannot, his or her medical health is not growing or not going in a positive way. They, at that time, doctor gives a medicine which kills the patient and relieve his or her pain. Sometimes now people think euthanasia and murder and suicide are same. The thing is, suicide is something when it's attempt when someone harm themselves intentionally to end their life, where when they are in proper physical state and mental state is not over here precised. And mental health can be treated for someone, so that's the point, that euthanasia and suicide are not the same. Now we were talking about IPC over here, Indian Penal Code. Indian Penal Code is definitely the thing. It's about crime and punishments. So the thing, you cannot support some, you cannot take out something and say that this is a law. IPC doesn't state that euthanasia is wrong or right. I think IPC is all about crime and its punishment. And euthanasia is not a crime, and no, it's not illegal. And there's a huge difference between it's illegal and legal. So that's the point I would say. And murder is something that murder, and some people take murder and active euthanasia as same, and I would also support that fact that medical help. And so the thing is, law, that's for what we have law. So the thing, I would, there was a nurse case, the nurse, I would not like to take the name over here. She was at the coma in the state for 48 years in the case of sexual assault. Does she did anything wrong about that? So that's what my point is, that there are two types of euthanasias, and one have a good aspect and one bad. So that's why the law, we can take help of law and make it legal and illegal. That active euthanasia can be taken as illegal and passive legal, because it will going to help both the sides. And that was my points over here. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you believe, you had a mixed opinion. You believe that active euthanasia should be illegal in India as it is.
The thing is, if murder over
That
here,
means you are against the motion. Am I right?
not against the motion. The thing is,
Because the motion says to legalize active euthanasia. It doesn't talk about passive euthanasia.
the thing is, the motion says euthanasia, mercy killing, or assassin suicide should be made illegal in India. There was, I think, I'm taken the over here. The euthanasia is not talking. The passive and active was not present.
Okay, maybe, but the topic includes the word active. Well, so you spoke really well, Kritya Sudha. Let's see if someone is remaining. Uh, there are lots of people here. I would love to speak. I'd love to hear everyone here. Anybody who is prepared and would like to take to be the next speaker? What about you, Rajdeep Rathod? You said you will speak in favor of the motion.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are. Rajdeep, you are not audible now.
May I?
Okay, yeah. Till then, Rajdeep, please fix your network. Neelam, yes, please proceed. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, hello everyone. Uh, in my, in my views, euthanasia should be made legal because right to life also includes the right to die. And if someone is in terminal illness, so he should be allowed for euthanasia. And if state is refusing a terminally ill patient's request to die, it means in some way that person's fundamental rights are being violated by state. And other thing, it is said that health is everything, but if someone is depend upon others, even for the feeding and drinking, so there is no any means of his life. And what's the point of life there, if you can't move, can't hear, can't talk, but in you are in a severe condition of pain, so at that point of time, death is better than sick or disabled. Another thing is, uh, if Santhara and Sanlekhna, which is a fasting for moving towards death in Jainism, is legal and allowed by Supreme Court, so why euthanasia can't be allowed? So I believe that with the proper consent of relatives and on the base of medical reports, in some cases, like the case of Aruna Sonberg, uh, euthanasia, active euthanasia should can be allowed by state. That's all.
Okay, Needham, thank you. You spoke really well. It was a short note, though, but you said that what's the point of life if you can't walk, if you can't talk, and have to live a life in pain? That's true. That seems true. And let's see how our people in against defend it. But thank you, Needham. Let's see who is the next speaker. Rajdeep, is your network okay now? Could you manage, or still you have issues?
Am I audible now?
Yeah, right now you're audible. Okay, there are network issues from a lot of people's sides. No problem. Let's talk to other speakers, and then we will start round two, which is an open discussion on this, where we'll have a good fight among participants. Is there anyone left? Rajdeep, you are still, we can't hear you. So I'm very sorry for Himanshu and Rajdeep today, and also Prerna. Three of our speakers prepared but could not speak due to network issues. Anybody else who is remaining?
Okay, may I speak
Yeah, sure. Saurabh, you have 3 minutes. All the best. What side are you going to take?
against the motion?
Okay, you are against the motion. Fine. Okay, we have someone who is against the motion. Try to counter all the arguments put by people in favor. All the best.
Okay. Hi everyone, myself Saurabh Ranjan, and I will be speaking against the motion. No, I don't think there is any point. Someone said that right to life also includes right to die with dignity. Yes, it may be the case, but here when we apply this active euthanasia in the context of India, we see there are enormous scope of misusing this uh, legal right. If at all the Supreme Court or the Parliament of a countries allows euthanasia to be enforced, there are so many enormous potential to misuse it. And also we see that most of the religion in the India or abroad, they consider the life a very sacred and precious, very sacred and precious. Since birth is not in our hands, so humans are also not allowed to let others die. In Indian case, we see whenever we have some ailment, we go to the doctors for its treatment diagnosis, and we see doctors as a lifesaver. But when we will allow them to assist the patient in dying, we are creating a crime. So whenever what will happen, suppose there are so many cases that whenever all the hopes of survival has been seized, then also that patient, he or she has later turned to be alive. So if we will allow this euthanasia, what will happen? We will lack the mental morality to fight with the disease. For instance, take the case of cancer. Cancer is a very critical, or means sometimes if passed in second, third stages can't be cured. But then also there are so many cases that the patient who has the cancer survived in even advanced stage. There are so many cases, and there are also another ways. In allopathy there is no treatment, then we can go of the Ayurveda, we can go for some another medical system of treatment. So if doctors have said that this disease can't be cured, we can't consider it to be sacrosanct. There are some other ways also. And coming to the abuses, what will happen if we see allows doctors in assisting the patients to die? We will see that almost all the patients who has been suffering from a critical disease will ask the doctors to let him or her die. So this will what this will create, this will be against the morality, this will be against the right to life. And also what will happen, suppose cases is there when patients lack necessary knowledge about the pain or disease, what they will do, they tend to exaggerate their illness and relate them to death and ask the doctors to let him or her die. So there are enormous potential of misusing this law. So this law will not help the patients in dying with dignity, but it will against the morality and humans natural death.
Okay, good. Well spoken, Saurabh. Glad that you spoke so many points against the motion, and you really well pointed out that there will be definitely a medical confusion that side, that who is not going to live. It's medically very difficult to decide whether a person is not going to live or not. Like also, as you said, there can be a moral, conflict in one's head. Why would someone go to spend lots of money on a person whose 80% or 70% chances are there of death? So yes, it will create a confusion. Definitely in round two we will figure it out clearly. We will hear from everyone. Let's ask if anyone wants his or her
Shivansh,
3 minutes. Yes, Pratiksha.
hello. Sorry, I'm speaking out of turn, but I know Prerna personally. So, wait a minute, okay? Prerna, hold it. I'm telling it to them. So, I know her personally. So, she can call me on my mom's cell and I'll connect her to this meeting if you allow it. Hello, was I audible? Hello?
Yes, yes,
Hello?
Pratiksha. Sorry. Yeah.
So, did you hear what I say?
Yeah, I heard. Let's see if Prerna is audible or not.
Actually, I talked to her on WhatsApp right now. I texted her, so she is not able to connect to this meeting. I mean, her audio is not working, so she can call me on another cell, and I'll switch on my audio, and whatever she speaks, that can get transmitted to you people.
Okay, okay. Just do it and try it out. That
Oh,
if we can hear it or not.
just give me a few seconds.
Till then, you want to say something, Swapnil?
Yeah, my question from Saurabh. Saurabh, I would like to counter Saurabh, but I think it would be in second round would be better.
Okay. Also, I would like to know if anyone is remaining who wants his or her 3 minutes, because round one is uninterrupted 3 minutes. You definitely should use it to put arguments. Anybody who has not spoken yet and wants his or her 3 minutes, maybe it can be Priyanka Singh or Rinki Bharti or Rashmi Shukla or Suryansh or anyone who has not spoken yet. Fine. Okay, so one of our participants, Prerna, is really willing to speak. She must have prepared for the debate, but due to network issues, she was not able to speak from her network. So she's just trying to put her points here through different cell. Pratiksha, you tell us whenever it's ready. Till then,
Just few seconds more.
okay, okay. Till then, we can take the question from Swapnil. Also, all the other people, please be ready with your questions for round two. You must hit strong
Shivans,
and unanswerable questions to your counterparts. Yes, Aditya.
may I add a point over here?
Sure.
So the point is that in 2017, our nation India, that is Bharat, has welcomed a very important act, and that was Mental Health Care Act, where it was mentioned that that the attempt to suicide should be decriminalized. Why just linking this attempt to suicide? Because it was refers to the people who are suffering from uncurable disease, which in Hindi it means a very great, or we can't say great. It means a very it sounds a very good, not in a positive sense, but again it sounds very serious, that ashadh rog. So yes, it was in the context of that only. And yes, again it was mentioned, the people who are talking about IPC, that section 309, section 309, they are referring to that only. And at there it was mentioned that whomsoever is committing suicide due to severe diseases or something like that, or something of that standard, should not be considered as attempt to suicide. And again, if state founds that case, then state should do something to promote that, or should do something legalized, something in a legalized way. This is a point.
Okay, okay. We got your point, and we will hear from the other side as well. But till then, let's hear Prerna first. Yes, Pratiksha, please connect us to Prerna.
Okay. Prerna, speak. Is she audible, guys?
Yes, she's audible, but it's too far. Can you put it closer?
Am I audible?
Yes, it's
Now?
better. Please speak.
Okay. Yeah, Prerna, start.
Still, am I not audible? Or am I?
You are audible, Prerna. Go.
Hello everyone, I am Prema, and today I will want to present my views about the question. What is it that is active should not be manipulated, and as everyone has given certain points why
Pratiksha,
they
there
are
is
active
so
question.
much noise at your side.
Oh,
When started in India,
okay,
It's
then I don't think it will work. I just.
yeah. There, it seems like there is a background noise.
Okay.
If there is a fan,
No, actually, there's nothing here. It's maybe because from phone it's
okay, yeah.
connected. I'm trying to
No,
through
the
microphone,
speaker
so
of
it's a
phone
failed
actually air
attempt.
comes out.
Yeah, that's what. Failed attempt.
No, it's
So no,
it's
it's
all
okay.
right.
I asked her. She said you. Yeah, you people
Okay,
continue with the
so
round two. She said so.
Pratiksha, you are her friend. Would you not like to speak something on the issue?
Actually, I came to know about this meeting only 5 minutes prior to it, like at 6:55. I have some points, but I don't know if it's relevant or not because you people have prepared and everything. So
Okay, so we'll start. We will start round two, and that doesn't need preparation, so you can also get involved in it. Let's start round two, guys. So
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
Swapnil asked a question. Adit said a point. Let's see if Saurabh or someone in against has a point to say against this.
Okay, may I raise a counter question to Aditya?
Sure, do anything in round two, guys. Come on.
Okay. See, Aditya has just mentioned that there are so many diseases, literally called asadhi rog, that can't be cured. So in that case, patients should be allowed to die. But may I ask Aditya, what is the definition of asadhi rog? In allopathy, there are so many diseases which are considered to be uncurable that can be cured in the Ayurvedic system. And yes, there are so many instances here. But the thing is that we have underrated the uh, Ayurvedic medical treatment. So we define in the context, in the lens of this allopathic Ayurvedic, allopathic system. So there are many cases which are considered to be uncurable in allopathy or in allopathic medical system that can be cured in the Ayurveda.
So yes, very well said. Talking about this only. So see, there is a standard level or there is a standard statutory body like ICMR who declares that how that COVID is a pandemic all over the world. Just say for example, WHO in the case of world and India in the and ICMR in the case of India. So see, the point is that there are a lot of bodies like AIMS director Radeep Guleria was supervising the COVID situation in India. So just likewise, there are bodies which will define, and yes, again, there are definitions. One can go again, cancer is there, lot of disease, hepatitis of various kinds are there in these kind of diseases. So we have to go in depth for that only. There are the things, there are the provisions, and again, uh, these kind of things would just, I will say that promote the dignity full death. Just this much only, and again, there are bodies, they will do their work. And again, fake claims were made that that COVID will be COVID can be cured by various allopathic and this and that kind of disease. But till now, it has been over. And again, I will not take the name of a very reputed. So I will not take that name. But again, there was the Ayurvedic medicine that proved that COVID will be cured and all that. And what has been done to it? So there are a lot of
See,
fake
see, see,
claims.
see, Aditya,
One will
you
have
can't
to mind that.
relate, you can't relate Ayurveda with Swami Ramdev. Right now, you are referring to him.
I am not
You
that.
can't
I am
relate. It
not
is a
referring that.
See, there are so many cases. Forget about the liver diseases and lungs. There are so many cases that are diseases.
So I
Suppose
just sorry to interrupt you. I am not saying that if someone has fever and just allow euthanasia. No, no, no. This is not the case. My case is just about cancer. The cases regarding serious cases regarding liver that is hepatitis of a very severe kind. I'm talking about that only. I'm not
but
talking about
see,
cough
see,
and
see.
cold.
That is what I asked. Now, what is the uncurable disease? How you will define what kind of diseases is uncured?
See, in oncology, there are various cases. I would not take it to a personal stage and all. There was so it will be something like a personal debate and question and all. See, there are a lot of oncologists who will decide, and there are a lot of medicines which can work on cancer as well. A patient can survive for some years and all that. But again, at a stage, a doctor declares that the person will just survive for this much and that much period. But again, in that period, if someone says, and yes, it's a live example, I have seen the doctor said that this person will just live for 30 days, and the pain, the kind of pain, the level of pain in just 30 days was unbearable. It was very shocking to see that person in that kind of or that level of pain. So this
And
is the
also,
condition and it happens.
look, Aditya, I would like to just raise an objection. See, there are so many cases also when doctors said that this person will die or cease to live after 1 month, 1 years, but he has been living from the past 20 years. In one cases, there is from Bombay, particularly, and that gentleman is suffering from the HIV/AIDS, and he has been living. He has been means living the normal life from the past 20 years, and I have means I have one screenshot also from some newspaper also that is not source is just valid and legalized, so don't question that source. If possible, I would send you also. So I'm basically saying that who will define that this disease is uncured, and how we will trust the doctors if doctor says that you are not going to alive, you will have to
But
die
Saurabh,
surely because there is
it's
no
not
See,
cure.
about
see, see,
just.
see, see,
But
see, see,
see,
see,
if there
Saurabh.
is anyone, if
See,
there is
then why
anyone
we are
who
trusting
want to
doctors?
die, without any pain, so there
We
should
are
be a.
trusting doctors because we look them as a lifesaver.
Saurabh, I would like to tell
Saurabh,
you
but
that
who
in
is
the
going?
Saurabh, in the Tarkeswar Sinha case in Bihar, your state Bihar, Patna, to 2005, the High Court is on the position that कि ऐसा हुआ कि एक आदमी जो इतने बड़े असाध्य रोग से पीड़ित था कि
Sorry to
वहाँ के
interrupt you,
गवर्नर
Swapnil. Sorry to interrupt you. If your language English, you should be in English. Sorry for this interruption.
oh no problem. So Saurabh, I would like to tell you an important case, Tarkeswar Sinha case, which
Okay,
happened in
Swapnil,
2005
I
in
know
Bihar.
there are some cases,
Like, I
but
would like to
in
tell you
on
many
basis of
cases.
that cases we
I
can't
would like
make it
to
legalized.
I would
The
like to tell
thing
you many
is,
There are
cases.
enormous potential of misusing this law.
I would like to tell you many cases. In case of the
Okay,
Yunus
see,
Ansari in
just listen
Odisha,
for a minute,
Yunus Ansari,
1 minute.
Saurabh,
Forget about all the cases, keep it beside. See, in India, we have so many instances where a person is alive, but he has the death certificate.
But sort of, what if there is anyone who willingly want to die, and if that person can't bear that pain and he want to die, then there should be a law for him.
Yes, of course. Just listen, one more thing is, the more a patient is mentally stronger, the more is chance of his or her recovery.
the thing is, when you are so much in physical pain and mentally you cannot be strong, your mind will be in the negative side. And I totally support when there's a like if there's a point of ray that which gives you that no, you can live. So I totally support that doctor should be. And there's not you said there that he will also survive for 30 days, but over here the people take second opinions over here. The people who are family members take n number of doctors, put n number of amount of money, and they try everything. They try allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda, everything over here because you said there are some incurable diseases who have cure in Ayurveda. So the thing is, the family who wants so obviously they're going to invest an amount of time and money over there, but there's a stage that the person is not recruiting, the person is not surviving. Now there's like the person don't want to survive by that physical pain, mental health. The thing I will come on that topic too, but so that we cannot force a person to live or just think that he will die, then he will die at the time naturally. The thing is, we cannot give. Oh, you do. You, law people are sitting on the law state do not have right to just make that person live as he lives longer. It's person's opinion and his family who is taking decision for him. Now mental health. Now the person is physically fit, but he is not mentally fit. He's in trauma or depression, anything. And the thing is, 99% of mental health cases are cured. The counselors, psychiatrists, and all the people over in the mental health cases can be cured. Talking and coming out of that trauma, the freshness gives you this. So mental health is over here the something that can be cured, and euthanasia is not required in mental health cases. So that was my point that the if the person
Okay.
have
So
a single ray.
we got you, Kritisudha.
I'd like to speak a bit about it. So, Saurabh, when you spoke, I was listening very carefully. So, the few points that you put forward, one of them was that our society is not ready right now, that it can be very easily misinterpreted or misused. So, yes, I'll agree with you. It maybe our society is not ready for it right now. But first of all, we'll have to make a mindset that are we going to implement it in the upcoming years? Do we want to implement it or not? If we want to, then slowly we can take baby steps in that direction to upgrade our medical infrastructure, to make some laws regarding it. The way you said ki what is the proof that the person will not get well in few years? So we can put a limitation that the person should be in a certain stage in medical terms for 5 years for straight or 4 years, etc. Okay, then secondly, you said that misinterpretation or misuse, for example, suicide. So, no, it will not become another way of killing oneself, because for that, medical certification will be required from the authorized and high level government offices, or from the good medical institutes, right? And thirdly, you said that there is no such disease which is not curable. But okay, maybe after 10 or 15 years that person will become alive, or will come in the proper stage. But who will endure the capital wasted behind it, or who is going to invest money in that? Government will not be able to look after each and every individual who is ill. But the family, if this what do we say, if we do not allow active euthanasia, the family will have to look after that person, and they'll maybe have to drain each and every penny that they earn, and it can hamper them in several other ways. So if he or she willingly wants to end their life, maybe for their own betterment, or maybe for the betterment of the family, why shouldn't this option be available to them?
Okay, see, now
See,
I'd
I
like to
have an
say,
objection. Sorry to interrupt you, everyone.
I have
The
also.
just 10 seconds. The number of debates I have joined over TLD, it's very I'm very sorry to put a statement over here. Whenever we discuss on any of the social issues, one or she or he or anyone, always I hear a line that India is not ready to implement this right now. Just I have and I want a question to you all, that when the right time will come to India, for India, that at there we will implement that. Again, the best time is right now, and we should implement it right now, and we should work on that. This is my point.
The right time will be, Aditya, when the implementation of any law will not cause more harm it's than not implementing it. That will be the right time to implement any law, whichever we are talking about, whatever you were talking about, whichever law you are
Yes,
considering here.
yes,
Guys, it's not about just a disease. Also, if there is anyone who want to die, not just because he has any disease, he or she just want to not die in pain. There is example that there is a Lawate couple who is very old, and they had no son and they had no relatives. They want to die, and they are willingly to die without pain, and they want to assisted death, which is a mercy killing or something. So they want it, and they're struggling for it. They have written letters to chief minister, to president, and anyone. So they want to die, but there is no option available for them. So it's not about just a disease. If there is anyone who want to die without pain, so there should be an option. You can't just let them leave because it is illegal.
okay. Coming to the question of Aditya. Aditya, see, why we say that India is not ready? Because unless we are ready from all the dimensions, we can't implement any laws. What happened? Just coming to the history, Muhammad bin Tughlaq transferred his capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. What happened? It was a flop attempt, and he had to go back to the Delhi after 1 years, and resulted just in the Modi's government. Modi government has demonetized the currencies. What happened? People had to suffer. So when we are not ready, the society is not ready. We can't impose any unlawful or lawful rules
But
and
Saurabh,
regulations
when
on them.
we would know that
Saurabh,
the
is
society
there
is
any
ready
measure?
But
after
Is there any
Saurabh,
implementing
measure
society
to
is
that,
measure
ready.
the
there
preparedness?
there should be
Saurabh, is there any
experimental things.
measure?
Yeah, there are
Saurabh,
a lot of measures. There are a
see,
lot of
my point is that
indices.
if a law became successful, we say that at the time of implementation of that law, the country was ready. And when a very set ground is there to implement something, and if the law becomes unsuccessful, we say that the country was not ready for that. This is the case.
Okay, no, this is
It
not the case.
happens.
Okay,
Saurabh,
okay, okay. So
Saurabh,
that is
Saurabh.
a
We
different
have
If
point.
referendum for
if a
that. We can
if
ask people
country
if
if a particular society is not ready for implementing any law, so we can implement that particular law with some restriction also, na?
Okay, in this case, what kind of restrictions you would like to put?
Leave it all. There was a very good question by Suhani. If someone wants to die willingly, what about that?
Okay, if someone wants to kill others, what about that?
No, if
It's
Not
someone
kill
not
wants to
others,
die,
Saurabh.
Or we are talking about
Aditya,
it's not reasonable.
if someone's life is someone's life and he or she has full liberty, why are we forcing them to wear helmet while riding or wear a seat belt while driving? And we are also charging, we are fining them if they are not doing so. If it's their head, why are we why is the country caring that it can break and it
Okay,
can,
see, Shivans, man is
Because
a
it
social
can harm
social
any
being.
other person
He
too. No,
has
that's why we
the
are.
day.
Because
no, no,
if
apart
there
from,
any accident
I'm
would
saying
happen,
that I am a person. Yes, I'm a person, and my body parts and my life and everything is mine. But when I'm a citizen, I am a country citizen, and definitely the country has some authority over my life and my death. So
See, Shivans, man is a social being. The day he or she is born,
then you
he
can't force him
borns
to do
with
just
some
because it is
responsibilities as
illegal.
well.
No, if like just to take the example that Levati couple, na, if they don't have any son, any relatives also, they just don't want ki in their old times everyone had to bear or government had to bear their treatment, treatment financial. So if they want to willingly die, then why they are struggling for it? And also they are old.
okay,
They
okay,
know
but
that
this
they can't live
itself is
more than 5 to 6 years.
Suhani, you
They
yourself
know it.
are, you are highlighting a problem that any person of a family does not want to put a financial burden on the other family members. So in that case, this willingness can go, it can go increasing, and that rates can severely increase. What would you do then? Because India is a land of poors right now. We have a number of people who are lower
No,
middle
not
class,
not
poors.
because no,
They
not
don't have
because they
enough
don't want
money and
anyone to bear.
resources.
It's just they don't have anyone for it. They don't have anyone to bear it.
Don't you agree
Nobody
that
is
this
here.
is a case that those people will not,
Then in their
they will
pathetic
feel that I
situation,
should
what would they
die.
do in
Why
their
am
old
I
times?
putting
You know,
medical bills
you
of
know,
lakhs of rupees on my family members?
it's not about just a financial thing. It's about whenever in a dying situation. Before that dying situation, you have to bear so much pain. In that level, who would care? Who would care for them? If there is no one relative here, there is no one to care them. So if they want to die without pain, then what's wrong in that? There should be option for them. They don't
So
want to
honey,
bear
if
that.
they are in a so honey, if they are in a such an certain stage where they are bearing a lot of pain just to live for another day or something like that, then active euthanasia is right. Okay, then it is acceptable. But if they are in a maybe okay condition, they are not going through major troubles or they are not suffering, and just because they do not have anyone else to live for, doesn't mean they can end their life. That is called suicide. Old age is also a part of human life, okay, and we cannot simply end it because we do not have anyone else to live for.
Also, it's not just about old people, so
But
we have to
see,
consider
just tell me one
that
thing. Is dying a
it's also a
bad
10
thing?
year
A
boy.
bad thing?
It's also a 20-year youth who is falling asleep in a hospital. Would we let him or her die, or we not wait for the last possible moment when he can come up again back to life? We'll let him or her die.
See,
I mean, few countries are practicing
if
this
that
active
person has that consent.
okay. I'm saying that few countries are practicing it, but they have certain age restrictions. So we as debaters should also talk about this issue, about the age restrictions. This this concept should be, those who are favoring it should be applied to what age group? Is it for everyone? Is it universal?
See, definitely, this thing can't go without restriction. There should be a law. There should be restrictions. Definitely, if there is any hope or that person is young, then definitely there should be law for that. That if there is even if there is 5% chance of that person living, then there we should try a lot to them. But if that person is bearing a pain or anything, and also if he her or him body is not responding to that, and it is very painful for them that even taking food or something, then we can do option for them.
Okay,
Yeah.
one more problem.
See, it's
Yes, Swapnil, you put
Yes,
your
yes.
hand.
My question is who are just opposing this legal active euthanasia. My question is from that person's. Means suppose a particular person is there who have a son, and from very starting he just suffering from very insustainable diseases, and his family, his father, his mother wanted that euthanasia will be better for his son. So in this case, what what could be do, what could be give a particular children or his family? So I think in these cases the active euthanasia must be legal in India. Otherwise we are not giving the justice of those persons.
Okay, I have also a second question to be raised here, because whoever there are lots of people who are supporting the concept of active euthanasia. So if we apply it, the first question was what age group should be, what age restrictions should be there, and second is how would you take a consent from a person who is not in a position to give a consent? I mean, the person is literally, dying, and he is suffering from an incurable disease. So there can be lakhs of millions of cases where those patients are not able to give their consent. I mean, they cannot speak, they cannot write. How would we take the concept from someone who is in coma, let's say?
In many cases, I think the consent is on the family, I think, and their guardian.
So
So
definitely
Shivans,
it's
Shivans,
how
at the
is
time of a
then,
surgery,
can't we say it's a murder, like, you are
so
saying the
Shivans,
person
no,
should
no,
die
no,
and he's
it will not be
okay.
a murder. Shivans, at the time of surgery or at the time of a serious operation, we take the consent of a father, mother, or we can say brother and someone like that. So family is a very important. And as someone said that man is a social animal. So in a society, family has a very important role, and that is a very important role in this society.
Okay. Now, I would like to take up a thing which somebody, I don't remember, some person of this house pointed out about the fake papers we have been going through since a lot of time. Like, people are taking fake medical bills and fake insurance amounts, fake medical leaves in their offices. So there are lots of fake things that are happening in India. We are not that good in corruption index. So how are we going to deal with it? Like, uh, cannot it lead to a rampant corruption in this field?
Yes, I agree. It may lead to that,
Maybe
which
a
you are
family
saying.
can, yeah, family will just avoid their expenses, and they will say, we want to, they'll give their consent, and they will get those papers ready that okay, this person is now not in a position to live further.
But Shivans, to be very honest, it's not the condition of India. In India, it doesn't happen at a general level. It doesn't happen because family matters, and for a family, it all matters. Even if a child is just of 1 month, we have seen, and Indian society is of that only. Is not that for saving money they will let them uh, die. It didn't happen. I
I
think
respect
so.
your ideal idea of India, but every day, if we are connected to the news, we are seeing how, what, I mean, like immoral heights of immorality, which we are seeing every day. Things are happening in Indian families. It's not like India is a country of 130 crore people. Every type of people live here. There are good
If
families,
that's
Shivansh,
the
but there are
case,
bad ones
that
also.
the family
Shivansh, your
We
members
question
let
shouldn't
is
the
make
valid.
other
we
family members
shouldn't make
die.
easy law
I
This
for
is the
mean,
case.
euthanasia, right?
any law should be, it should be proof, well, full proof. Yes, Pratiksha and
Definitely.
Swani, please make your points.
I think we should
Yeah,
make a strong rules and regulation for it. And euthanasia, we shouldn't make it easy to do it, but we can make regulation restrictions for it, and can make it more more with authentication, so that we can but definitely there should be an option.
See, there can be a committee, there can be 2 3 levels for that. That medical team will be there. Then again, legal, or we can
Yeah,
say
definitely.
someone from judiciary will be there to forward that or
Okay,
to
okay, okay, okay. Well, Aditya, there can be a committee, there can be someone. These, but see, in India we have 130 crores of people. Even if someone is beaten to death, then also people or policemen fears to lodge a fire on them. And we are talking about committee and also on medical team. Will they all be available there for consent of the parents or the patients who is means seeking for euthanasia?
So
Not
Saurabh,
Saurabh,
do you
every
mean that we
not
shouldn't
every
these
case,
think
I
of
think,
that?
these
Saurabh,
things are
everyone would demand
It
Saurabh,
euthanasia.
means
these
that we shouldn't
In
think
very
of
rare
that.
case, I think people demand euthanasia.
Saurabh Singh, in India there are many sectors, there are many committees have formed, but with some legal restrictions we can apply it. And the corruption, rampant corruption and the small corruption are happening in different type of the sector. So that not means we cannot apply such type of law which will be the better of life for the person.
And I also add one thing that drug is also a very worrying about for the India. And don't you think that by using a lethal injection for allowing the active euthanasia, it's another burden for the India? And it's also what's the guarantee that it's not doing as a black marketing of lethal injection?
Neha, it will be thoroughly guided. It will be thoroughly guarded as well. I mean, just because something is lethal and one will have to handle it, or one will have we will need vigilante for that. We just can't say that there will be black marketing or smuggling. Yes, that's possible. Truly said that is possible, undoubtedly. But for that, strict laws, more committees,
Yes,
more
Pratiksha,
vigilance is required,
it's
and that is implemented as well.
yes, of course,
We
but acid is also a very lethal, and it's also a lots of safeguard for use the acid. But we already know that how much people's using misusing the acid attack.
So
Don't
Neha,
you
do you
think that
think
it's a
that
second burden?
drugged injection? Do you think that drugged injection will be easily available as acid is nowadays? Do you think it's that easy to get? Is it that cheap? We have
But
many lethal drugs. We have many poisonous things in our market. Okay, that is a different thing. If one has to die, then he can simply gulp morphine, and there is a good chance he'll die. But when we are talking about such drugs, authentic drugs, then they are handled with care. So the way you're saying that it can easily slide down into the market and a black marketing will start, that's I do not think is logical. But yes, rightly said that a fabrication of proofs or documents can take place if one has a malice in their mind. It is possible. Then, but for that, as I said, if we want to implement it, it cannot be done in this very year or maybe next year. It is going to take time, and to make that law watertight, that will also take time. But do we want to implement it or not within 5 years or within 10 years? That is the question we should be discussing about. No society is perfect, but do we want to make society perfect in a certain sphere? In which direction do we want to lead it? That's the question we should be discussing.
Okay, friends, I think you all have spoken enough today, and literally, it was a fantastic debate
Just last
from
one,
all of you.
may I?
Okay, sure. Last remark.
Last point is that we can't let someone die with lot of pain and in a horrible condition just at the cost of fear of misuse or corruption. This is the point.
Okay, now I'd like to, at last, I would like to respond to Sohani's questions. May I?
Sure, sure, sure. Please try to let's try to pack up it in 2 minutes. Go on.
Okay, see. Sohani has said there are only small numeral instances of this euthanasia where patients literally ask the government or ask takes the permission of uh, mercy killing. But if it is so, I also agree there are only small means less instances of it. Then what is the need of translating this provision into a law? If there are only small instances, and given the fact there are enormous potential of misusing it, then I think for that small instances we should move to the courts for taking consent, not translating this provision into law, as it has enormous potential of misusing.
Saurabh, if just tell me if
You are very much familiar with the
any
case of
person
the
committed
courts.
suicide, just tell me if any person committed suicide after suicide, what would you do to that person? He's dead. It's about that. If the person want to die legally, that he don't want it after his marriage, if any sorry, after his death, anyone would ask that person just committed suicide, there is no reason for it. There should be a legal thing that that person wanted that, and he did it legally. That is the thing, that's why people wanted.
Okay, okay. We heard you all. It was a great debate. Is there anyone else who would like to give his or her last remark, like a conclusion
Hello,
statement?
hello, am I audible?
Yes, Rinky. Yes, you are audible. Please
ओके
be short and just a remark.
ओके मैं अपना व्यू इसके बारे में कुछ रखना चाहूंगी। यूथनेशिया मतलब इच्छा मृत्यु, ठीक है। तो अपने हम ये ना सोचकर कि हम हमारी स्थिति क्या होगी मृत्यु के अंतिम कगार पर, तो हम अपने विलिंग बिल दे देंगे, विलिंग बिल दे देंगे, तो इससे लिविंग बिल दे देंगे, तो इससे क्या फायदा होगा? इससे कोई फायदा नहीं होगा। हमें अंतिम सांस तक लड़ना चाहिए, क्योंकि वैसे अभी कुछ दिन पहले न्यूज में दिखा रहा था कि एक डॉक्टर ने कोरोना के डर से अपनी वाइफ और अपने बेटे को जहर दे दिया। तो क्या कोरोना के टाइम अभी सब लोग की डेथ तो नहीं हुई है, कुछ लोग जी रहे हैं ना, कुछ लोग क्या सब लोग जी रहे हैं। तो मैं बस एग्जांपल दे रही हूँ कोरोना का, क्योंकि अंतिम प्रकार से भी जिया जा सकता है। ये नहीं कि मृत्यु के डर से हम पहले ही उसको जहर दे दें या फिर कुछ कर दें, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि ये इच्छा मृत्यु सही है। मैं बस यही बोलना चाहूंगी।
Okay, okay, perfect. So thank you to
एक
everyone present
सेकेंड, एक
here
सेकेंड।
right now.
शिवांश
Thank you, Aditya, Neha,
शिवांश
Pratiksha.
हेलो।
Yes, Rinki.
मैं आपके भी क्वेश्चन का जवाब देना चाहूंगी, जो अभी आपने बोला कि हमारे देश में गरीबी है। इस अवस्था में जो फैमिली में इकोनॉमी की कमी कमी रहती है, तो क्या वो उस प्रॉब्लम को उस प्रॉब्लम से जूझ पाएंगे? तो ये इंडिया है, फैमिली के लोग कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। हमारे ही बगल में कुछ लोग भले वो ना बचे वो अलग बात है, लेकिन उसके लिए भी रहता है गहने से लेकर खेत वगैरह जो भी उनसे बन पड़ता है वो लोग बेच देते हैं सिर्फ अपने फैमिली को बचाने के लिए। उन्हें
Okay,
ये
okay,
नहीं
I'm
रहता
getting your
कि वो
sentiments.
बचेंगे या नहीं।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल ठीक है ठीक है. I think you're being too emotional in that. Well, it's all over now. We heard the opinions from everyone. Thank you,
नहीं,
Aditya, Neha,
नहीं ऐसा
Pratiksha,
नहीं
Prerna.
है।
Rinki, it's over now. Can I speak? We gave you 1 hours and 20 minutes. That was enough, and now we can't extend further. It's being recorded. So thanks to everyone, and now I'd like to conclude that in conclusion we can say that even if it is applied and it's made legal, then definitely we'll have to put strict standard guidelines there. And we talked about few problems that can come up, like the problem of malpractice, the problem of as someone pointed out, the problem of moral impact on the patients. What moral impact, what mental impact will it lead to? We talked about the black marketing thing that can happen of the lethal drugs. Also we talked about fake medical certificates that can come up. So there are lots of problems in case we hear the points of those who are favoring the motion, that if we legalize it, there are lots of things we will have to follow, and we'll have to put strict standard guidelines to it. Okay, guys, thank you for joining this debate. We'll meet you again in the next debate next Sunday, the legendary debates. Keep yourself tuned, and we'll have an interesting debate again on some very interesting topic. Thank you.